I arrived at Portland in the fall of 1991 as a sports information intern, and one of the teams that I covered a decent amount was the women's basketball team. Now that season there were 6 very talented seniors on that team, but there was also a very talented junior forward named Kiki Seago. Now because of the depth on that team, Kiki was the team's leading scorer, but only averaged 12.5 points a game. But the ultimate team player, I think she was just more concerned about what the team did. Well, that team went 24-5, won the SUNYAC title, and went to the NCAA Sweet 16. Now, I remember that trip was almost sidetracked in the SUNYAC semifinals against Geneseo out of Buffalo State, where Cortland was the #1 seed, the favorite, and Geneseo took a 1-point lead, its only lead of the game, I think, and the final seconds, and the ball was in Kiki's hands, and she got fouled and hit the 2 game-winning free throws with 10 seconds left, and beat Buffalo State the next day for the title to win the SUNYACs. Now, leave it to Pete Carisno then, of course, as I make my 3rd Pete Carisno reference of the night, to summarize when he said, if the game was on the line, you wanted the ball in Kiki's hands. She was the female version of Jimmy Chitwood in Hoosiers. I also remember that right after that, Kiki got hurt in practice before the NCAA tournament. And she missed the first game against St. John Fisher, and she only played 6 minutes in the Sweet 16 game against Southern Maine. But there was no bigger supporter or team person that helped lift the team than Kiki in that situation. Now, as a senior on a younger team the next year, she averaged 20 points and 10 rebounds a game, was an All-American and a finalist for Division III National Player of the Year. It kind of gives you an idea of, the situation, the kind of talent she had, but she also fit into whatever the team situation was. Now, her coach, Bonnie Foley, who's here tonight, in her recommendation letter to Kiki refers to her as, quote, the whole package of the student athlete. In her words, she says, Cortland prides itself in developing future teachers and coaches from its athletic teams. Kiki was certainly the model of this. In our program, it was expected that captains would meet with the coaches to review practice plans and discuss team issues. Kiki played whatever role the team needed: rebounder, defender, scorer, passer, cheerleader, or coach on the floor. Since Kiki graduated from Cortland, she has taken these same traits into her professional life. So I present to you, for induction to the SUNY Cortland C Club Hall of Fame, Kiki Seago, class of 1993.
Was I the only one that put my speech on the podium ahead of time? Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here tonight, and a real pleasure to meet my fellow inductees and hear your stories and meet you in person, and congratulations. It seems a bit surreal to be here. I was telling Coach Span and Coach Mosier, I'm not sure I belong in this. I used to walk the halls at Park Center 23 years ago and look at the bios on the people that were on the wall of Hall of Fame, and I was in awe of their accomplishments, and it was inspiring to read them. And I also thought, wow, they're old. And oh, how your perspective changes. I am also both honored and very humbled to join this group of amazing people. And thank you, Mr. Woods, who I've known prior to this also, and the C Club Committee. It was really nice meeting all of you this morning. Thank you, Coach Mosier, for the nomination. And she does an outstanding job with our women's basketball program here, and I look forward to seeing them again. Thank you to Peter Carisno, who's in Michigan. He couldn't be here, but he wrote a letter of recommendation for me. And to Bob Church, who was my high school basketball coach, one of the best in the mid-'80s. And also to Coach Foley, who's here tonight. It's great to see you again. And I have to thank you for instilling confidence in me as an athlete and letting me develop my leadership abilities. You were a true role model for me. And also taking the absolutely crazy cast of characters that we had and somehow organizing us into a successful team. We had so much talent, but they were nuts. And, You did really well. And also for the team breakfast. She used to cook us these amazing team breakfasts. So thank you. I very much appreciate all of your time and effort in being here tonight. Thank you to the Office of Alumni Affairs for putting on this amazing weekend, especially Robin Wheeler, who I've communicated with several times over the past 3 weeks, helping me out with details. I appreciate that. Before I say a few words about my experience here at Cortland, I have to recognize the people that are here with me tonight because, as you all know, especially when you play a team sport, you are only as good as the people that surround you. And the people that have surrounded me in my life are incredible. I have 3 friends here tonight. My roommate, that was my roommate for all 4 years, like even when we moved off campus, she was like, "Can we stay in the same room?" So we were literally roommates for 4 years. She flew 1,200 miles here yesterday from Florida to be here for this, Soraya. And I'm very grateful to have you here. My friend Jennifer Hutches, we went through our phys ed program here together, and she was a supporter of our women's basketball program. And we did our Racket Lake adventure together and became lifelong friends. And I believe also you were the first person to show me where the dark horse was. Just saying. And my friend Lori Hopkins-Halbert, who became my friend a little later in life, but she's also an educator. She's an elementary principal now. And she's my outdoor adventure buddy. All of you are amazing mothers and professionals and people, and thank you so much for being here. 2 of my brothers are here. I grew up with 3 brothers, so I didn't have a choice but to hold my own. 2 of my brothers are here tonight, Garth and Mac. Thank you so much for making the effort to be here. I love you both. Hold on, where am I? Okay. So, and last but not least is my immediate family, my parents, all 4 of them. I was blessed with 4 parents. And I wouldn't be here without them. They're the wind beneath my wings. Thank you for your unconditional love, your support, your guidance, your modeling of how to do good in the world and be professional. It's just amazing. Thank you, I love you. My partner, Brett, and his dad, Ron, thank you for your love and support. Brett, I don't know how we balance everything that we do, and somehow we get through. Brett actually he runs the Hall of Fame at our high school that we teach at, and he had it last night. So he got here at 1 in the morning, he's exhausted, because we know the work that goes into it, so thank you. And my 2 absolutely beautiful daughters, Elle and Sierra, who I hope something inspired you today to do something good in this world and to work hard. Sierra already said to me in President Bitterbone's box, we got to be in the box today at the football game, and she said, "Mom, I like Cortland." I love you around the universe twice. You're welcome. Okay, so, man, my experience at Cortland, Dean Taberzi asked me today, I still call you that, I'm sorry. She asked me today in an interview, what was your favorite memory at Cortland? I thought, are you kidding? I looked at her, are you kidding? I have so many, how could you possibly share them? But my experience here was very rich. As a phys ed major and an athlete, you couldn't be at a better Division III school. The dedication of the athletes around you, and we all supported each other. We went to each other's games, swim meets, football games, cross country, whatever we played, we tried to get out and support each other. I hope all of you are doing that now. Super important. The dedication of the faculty and the coaches, and seeing some of you here tonight is a real pleasure. Joan Sitterly and Dean Taberzi, and I know Mrs. McGinley I saw walk in tonight, and she was one of the funnest teachers I had while I was here, and she also, I did spot her last year at the New York State Phys Ed Conference on the dance floor really late. She hasn't lost her energy yet. I was exhausted, and she's out there boogieing. You're all just exceptional role models. And I know that David mentioned Tom Steele. He was also one of a professor that had a big impact on me to get into secondary education. He also wrote a letter of recommendation for me, along with Dr. Suzanne Wingate, some of you remember her, to get into the Ohio State University to do my graduate work, where I got to study with Darryl Siegenthaler for a year, which was phenomenal. He's one of the leading researchers in teacher effectiveness, and that was, I couldn't have got there without them. And of course Pete and Fran, who they just melt into becoming part of your family. They were part of the women's basketball family, and Fran had only been here 2 years. And one of my favorite things to do was after our home games was to go sit at the score table with them and hang out and have the conversation about the game. We'd recap things and talk about the other team, and it was very in my memory, and I love those times. Thank you very much for being such a quality human being and a good SID. And Peter also. It became very apparent today as I went to all the functions and traveled through campus, and you feel that energy of being on a college campus again, which was really enjoyable. But you have 2 outstanding leaders here right now. And Mike Ertz, who I went to school with, is your director of athletics, and his assistants, who are wonderful, and President Bitterbaum, who, unbelievable to me, got introduced to me for the first time this morning, and then 3 hours later in the afternoon, I had different clothes on, and he knew my name still. And he knew information about all of you that are sitting out here, all your athletes and your programs, and that's impressive for your college president to be so involved with your athletic program. And he has a genuine interest, I could tell in our conversation, in the whole college program here, but is a real fan, and that's just really impressive. You're very lucky. I guess in closing, I would just like to say to the current student athletes, life goes by so fast, and sometimes when you're this age, you don't get it. And I remember leaving Cortland 2 days after graduation, looking in my rearview mirror at the Park Center thinking, oh my goodness, it's over. I'm leaving for the last time. And so please enjoy your moments here. Don't try to wish it away, because it just goes by so fast. I will always cherish my memories here as a Red Dragon, and Oak will always support the Red Dragons. And it's a real honor to be here tonight. Thank you so much.